everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We are so excited to be in the home of my dear friend and partner in crime, Kimberly Fox. And so thank you so much for being here today and for having us in your home. What is it that we're going to be making today?
We are making what's called a lightning fast veggie chili. Not so lightning because I added a few more ingredients, as I do with any recipe, because it's just a springboard. It's just an outline of what you can do with whatever food is in the list of ingredients. So today we're just doing a veggie chili, very flavorful but not spicy or hot.
Oh, great. So there's no meat in this one, so it's
Not at
very
all.
good for people that are vegetarian.
Yes.
Very good for people who might be diabetic
Absolutely.
or have special needs. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, let's get started.
Okay, do you want to know what's going in it?
I do.
Okay, we're going to do a can of diced tomatoes.
Okay.
We're doing just 1 tablespoon of chili powder, and this is just for flavor. We got a little bit of salt, and we're doing garlic, my favorite, because I get to use my little tool.
Yes.
And then we're doing, the basic recipe calls for 1 yellow squash and 1 poblano pepper and 1 onion. And what I've done is I've added zucchini squash and 3 peppers, which one might think peppers spicy, but they're not. They're very flavorful, adds a nice rich texture to it and flavor. Even my dear sweet mother would eat it, and she's very picky. We're also adding tomato paste to this to give it a little smoky flavor. I've got some kidney beans back here, another ingredient that I've added, and then the chili beans mild in the sauce is an ingredient that's required of this chili to make it chili. So, okay. So the first thing we're going to add is our canned tomatoes, and this was a 28 ounce can of diced tomatoes. And then if you'll dump in that chili powder.
Yes.
And then I'm going to do just a little pinch around the top of some salt, and I use a nice kosher salt. You can use any salt, of course. Now this is where we need our mussels, Kat. Can you do this?
Yes.
Do you have a garlic press at home?
I do.
You know the benefits of using fresh garlic?
I do.
What are they?
Well, it tastes a lot fresher, for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
But you don't lose any of the vitamins in it.
No, you don't. And the second you squeeze this, it expels all the fresh oil. When you have the minced garlic already, they've already done that for you. So you're getting a substandard product when you use something that's minced or pre-done.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got 3 cloves of garlic. And again, we've got a can of 28 ounces of diced tomatoes, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, a little bit of salt, and 3 cloves of garlic, fresh garlic. And then we're going to take this and we're just going to stir this up a little bit.
Okay.
And this needs to be done in a microwave-safe bowl because we're going to microwave this for about 5 to 7 minutes until it's nice and bubbly.
It already smells good.
I know, doesn't that smell good?
I could smell the oils and see the juices of the garlic, and boy, it really smells good.
So we have the diced tomatoes and the chili powder and the garlic going in the microwave. The next ingredient, which is a required ingredient, is the yellow squash.
Okay.
The enhanced part is the zucchini. And I'm going to have you do the yellow squash, and we're going to start by cutting off the ends.
Okay.
Just as little bit as possible. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take your knife and right down the middle.
Okay.
Now, zucchini and yellow squash have these little seeds in it, and that causes a lot of water, and we don't want that when we're sauteing that in our pan. So I'm going to have you take our melon baller, and I'm going to have you seed that, and then once you're done, I'm going to take it and do mine.
Okay.
And what this is going to prevent is a soggy chili. We want liquid, but we don't want it to be soupy,
Gotcha.
and that's what would happen if
You
we
want it to
did
be
that.
thick.
Yes, yes, and that's what the tomato paste later will be for.
All right.
Okay, now while I'm doing this, Kat, I would like you to take that, flip that squash right over, and you're going to make a 1 down the middle and then 2 along the sides.
Right.
And I want you to turn it, and you're going to just make little bite-sized diced pieces.
Right.
You don't necessarily need an expensive knife to do some really nice cutting. It's got to be what you're comfortable with. And you always want to get them sharpened occasionally. So
One of the greatest things about these Senkotu knives is they've got little divots on the side, and it keeps the vegetables or fruit or whatever you're cutting from sticking to the knife. Now,
Now these peppers are added as an enhanced ingredient. So these aren't required. And we're going to get to that in a minute. So I want you to do is put it on its side. You're just going to lop off the top.
Okay.
Okay. And then what I do, so I get the most out of my products, and I have washed all of these in a vinegar water solution. It kind of cuts through that waxy texture. And I don't care what you're eating. If you're going to cut through it, wash it. Oranges, limes, lemons, avocado. I even wash that because my knife's going through it, and I don't want to contaminate my food when I cut through the skin. So we're going to just pop this off like this, and we're going to get that green part out. And then you're just going to pull out that center part. You're going to find how beautiful this dish is. It's so colorful and just really pops. So we've got the flat side, and whenever you're cutting, you want to make sure you have a flat surface, especially with your food.
Right.
You're going to cut right down the center here.
Okay.
And then you can do this,
Okay.
and then you're going to turn it to the side a little bit, and you're just going to start cutting on that raw side, just straight through. And thin strips, because then, like we did with the squash, we're going to cut it the other direction and make some really nice small bite-sized pieces.
Beautiful.
And you want to make them as small as possible and the same size so that the cooking is even.
Thank you.
Do you like peppers?
I love peppers. I think they're great. Now, I do have a pretty picky family, so I don't cook with them all the time.
Yeah.
Because they don't like the flavor. And sometimes I can disguise it if I puree it.
Mm-hmm. Pureeing is a gift, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, now I am going to do the poblano pepper, and I'm going to let you slice up that yellow pepper. And again, the poblano pepper found in the peppers, kind of oblong, not spicy, not real hot. I know it looks like a jalapeno, but it's not. And there's another ingredient you could add. The yellow pepper is not a required ingredient, but this is, because it's a poblano pepper. So this is just going to add a little bit of flavor. We're going to slice through that. I'm going to pop off the top again. And I had never, to be honest, used a poblano pepper before this chili.
Really?
Nope.
See, I've not used it either. I'm really kind of new at cooking with peppers. I'm not real sure if I would know the difference between the hot ones and the mild ones.
Well, and that's what our produce guys are for. You know, they're really good at answering questions. We're adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil, about. You know me, I don't measure much. And if you will hand me the squash, we're going to pour that in. Just dump it all in.
Actually, let's do it like this.
Okay.
Here we go. Very beautiful.
Yeah, and we're just going to let that start cooking. And we're going to let this go for about 5 minutes until they start to get kind of soft and tender. And one way to speed that process up is to cover it. So this has been cooking, and can you tell a difference? They're a little brighter.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I like about this is you keep everything in the pot. You keep everything in your skillet. And we're just going to push this aside.
Okay.
Okay. You see that little ring?
Yep.
We're going to cheer on the onions now. If you'll pour in the onions.
Sure.
Watch your hand. There you go. And we're just going to let this sit and sweat again. Get these nice and soft. There's no salt, there's no pepper. It's just olive oil, and you can already smell the nuttiness of this, you know. And now we're adding the onions. You know, they say if you want to really kind of trick your husband into thinking there's something cooking, throw on an onion in the skillet.
Exactly.
And he'll walk in and go, what's for dinner? Oh, I don't know yet. So we're going to let that sit and sweat for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
So you can see that these are translucent now. They're very soft, and a couple of them are turning a little brown, and that is perfectly fine. That's no problem. All right, so now I'm going to incorporate them with our squash. You hear that? Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good too.
And again, we're just going to push these to the side. And I'm going to let you dump those in the middle.
Right.
Look at how pretty.
Oh my gosh, that looks so amazing.
Even this alone would be a great vegetable side dish.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you could do this with some chicken. You could pour it on a bit of spinach and have a warm salad. A little vinaigrette. Really nice. So again, we're just going to put the lid on this and let it sit and let the heat do the work for us.
Beautiful.
Okay, so these have been sitting for a few minutes. Again, see the vibrancy?
Oh my gosh,
I mean, they were
smell so
I know, right?
good.
And no salt, no pepper, just the olive oil. We're just letting nature take its course on this, okay? And we're just going to mix these up a little bit.
Oh my gosh, that is so gorgeous.
Doesn't this look beautiful?
It's very bright.
So we're pushing this aside. Now you can already see some of the natural juices coming out. Again, that's why we drain the beans. That's why we seeded the squash, because can you imagine how much of this would be coming out if we hadn't? It'd be really soupy. Okay, so our next step is 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Tomato paste comes in that teeny tiny little can, and I've got a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon here. And I'm just going to grab up 1. Now, I was starting to tell you why you want to caramelize your tomato paste. It gives it that really smoky, rich flavor. And we're just going to kind of push this down and get it nice and heated up. And you will be able to kind of tell just by the consistency that you can start incorporating everything else. And that everything else is going to include our black beans, our kidney beans, what I will call an enhanced product in this recipe. You don't need those. But then we're also going to add our chili beans in chili sauce. If you will please pour the chili beans in.
Whoops. You just make a mess.
That's okay. That's what children are for. Oh, just kidding. And we're just going to start bringing everything in. Now this doesn't look really chili-ish yet. It's not real soupy, if you will.
Let me add that
Yep,
too.
go ahead. Great. But as this simmers, you will find that the natural juices from the peppers, the little bit of water that was left in the squash, the onions, and then our tomato mixture is going to add that real dense texture and feeling that we're looking for.
Beautiful. Oh, it looks so pretty.
Doesn't that look pretty? And you could do this in a Dutch oven too, if you had a nice big stock, but I've just been doing it in my skillet. Doesn't that smell good?
Smells unbelievable.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
The other importance of making that well and adding those ingredients is that as soon as you add something to your skillet, you're cooling down whatever's in there, and you're also bringing down the temperature of your pan. So by adding them in the middle, you're not drawing any heat from those other ingredients that are in the outside. Also, another reason why you heat up the tomato and all that, because you don't want to keep kind of restarting everything, if you will.
Awesome.
So we are simply going to let this sit for, I would, you know, as much time as it takes you to maybe set the table, make some cornbread if you will, warm up some bread, whatever you want to do, but you're going to let this simmer for about, I would say 15 minutes. And just to kind of get all the flavors kind of going. If you were in a hurry, you could eat it right now. Everything's cooked and everything's very flavorful. And as true with most chilies or stews, it's going to be better the next day. You know, get time to let it, everything kind of marinate.
Right.
So you'll have a richer flavor tomorrow, but this is still just as good the way it is.
Awesome. You can find this and other great recipes by visiting our website at catcurly.com. Also, come join our fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithcat.
All right, final enhancement, if you will, is the avocado. Okay. I am addicted to avocados. Love them. I've recently started making an egg salad and putting it inside the avocado and kind of eating it. Very good.
Oh my.
All right, so we're just going to lop off the top of this. Get that out of the way. And then we're just going to cut this right like that. We're going to go this way. Be very careful. And get a little twist and open it up. And then again, very careful. Do a little twist and pull that pit out. And then I guess you can do something fancy with this. You know, stick it in a cup of water, make it grow. I don't know. I'm not a green thumb, so not me. Not for me. And then we're going to use my nifty, swifty avocado peeler. And we're going to go around the skin. You know what I also found this is really good for?
What?
Getting your muffins out of your muffin tins.
Oh, that's
It's got this little beveled edge there. And then we're just going to slice it this way.
Beautiful.
Okay. And then we're just going to put it in this little prep cup. And then I'm going to let you add it to your veggie chili as you so wish. So I'm going to get my spoon here and add a little avocado at the bottom. This is going to heat it up, soften it up. Not that it needs any more softening really, because it's pretty nice and ripe. Yeah. And then we're going to, I'll just spoon some up for you. Give you a little taste. Look at all those liquids. How colorful is that, Kat?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that beautiful?
That looks incredible.
It is a good winter dish.
Oh, it smells so good.
But like you said, you could serve it as a warm salsa with some chips. Is it good? Whew, I did it. It's always a worry.
So good. This is really, really good, Kim.
Not bad. Thanks for letting me come on today and share one of my favorite new recipes.
Well, thank you, and thank you for this. This is wonderful. Guys, this is so easy. You notice this did not take a whole lot of time. It's just a matter of the prepping and the cooking, and then you're done, and it's great. And this would definitely be a winner.
Oh, yeah. And you're prepping while it's cooking, you know, as you're doing the wells, you're cooking or cupping something else. So it moves along quite nicely. Thanks for having me.
Guys, y'all have to try this, especially those people that love vegetarian dishes. This is great.
It's great.
Thank you so much.
A great alternative.
Thank you so much for watching us today. Remember, you can reach me on facebook.com/cookingwithcat or twitter.com/catcurly. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.